Hi everyone, today I am going to talk about Lord Ganesha as explained in the ancient sources directly. Among the various sources of ancient life knowledge we have in Hindu culture, the two main categories are Smriti and Shruti. Smriti are the sources that help us remember the learnings, and Shruti are the ones which has to be directly heard as is. Within Smriti, there are many collections. Some of the popular ones are Purana, Shastra, and Itihasa. There is a lot of creative freedom in these sources. You will know the author of these sources, and it will contain a lot of stories, poems, songs, articles on various topics, historical accounts to help us remember. On the other side, Shruti maintains its originality as is, and it is passed down through generations. There are two types of knowledge in Shruti: Paravidya and Aparavidya. Paravidya is the transcendental knowledge beyond the worldly, and Apara is the worldly intellectual knowledge. Both of these areas are covered in Vedas and Vedanga. In Vedas and Vedanga, which are the two sources of Shruti, Vedanga deals with how to learn the Vedas, and Vedas is the source of knowledge. Vedas contains various sources, and they are subdivided into several areas which deals with individual topic. They also have secondary sources which complement the original sources. To find the references of Lord Ganesha, I have looked into these areas and found mainly in Vedas, Upapuranas and Itihasa. Vedas is the Shruti and Puranas and Itihasas from the Smriti. There are shlokas which explain as well as help us recite as is the learnings in the original way for our benefit. And the Puranas are having mythical stories which help us understand the knowledge being explained in the Vedas. There are several forms of Lord Ganesha in Puranas. The main sources are Ganesh Purana, Mudgala Purana, and all these Puranas. There is also a reference to Lord Ganesha in Mahabharata. Lord Ganesha represents intelligence, and from the mythical stories we know Lord Ganesha as a son of Lord Shiva and Shakti, who represent self-consciousness and the divine energy respectively. I tried to interpret the symbolism directly from the source without any oversimplification or confusions created by the various online sources, and I have summarized it here. So there are shlokas in Puranas which explain the form that we see, and many of these forms hold a deeper meaning which should not be oversimplified. So, for example, you might see a lot of sources explaining the year of Lord Ganesha, indicating that we should listen more. So, but the broader meaning would be to be open-minded. In that way, I have listed out the interpretation of the symbolism, and every time we pray to Lord Ganesha, keeping these things will in our mind will really help us pray more wholeheartedly and use our intelligence to actually overcome the obstacles and benefit from the fruits of wise living. Lord Ganesha's hands hold two weapons. One is a lasso and another one is a halberd. The lasso helps pull us back to the truth, and the weapon helps us destroy the false ego. With this, Lord Ganesha is the destroyer of obstacles and the first thing to be remembered before we start any activity, because with intelligence and focus we will be able to start the task better and do it better. The broken tooth tusk on the hands of Ganesha represents sacrifice. As you know, with any intellectual pursuits, there is a lot of sacrifice required to get the fruits of that. Lord Ganesha's stomach is surrounded by a serpent. The stomach is large size, which represents the cosmos and everything in it, real, unreal, truth, untruth, everything is he, and everything driven by the divine life energy. The legs are always crossed. You will see one of the legs would be firmly on the ground while the other one half meditative. This represents that Lord Ganesha is in meditative pose, at the same time grounded and humble. You can see flowers here. There might be sometimes fruits and other things kept at the feet of Lord Ganesha. That represents the worldly wealth that is at the feet of intelligence. The mouse on which Lord Ganesha rides represents the desires, which are sneaky unless we have a control over it. So we should ride on it and not let it take over. Similarly, there are other things that you might have heard about Lord Ganesha, like the only deity to which we offer the Durva grass is Lord Ganesha, because these grass shoots represent the freedom from the binding of three gunas. The grass shoots will be in sets of three, and when you offer them that to Lord, you are reminding yourself about the freedom that we need to have from the binding of three gunas, basically Rajasic, Tamasic and Sattvic. And Ganesh Visarjan, the popular festival that is done at the end of the Ganesha festival, the ritual which is followed, it represents that any form that Lord Ganesha takes at the end of the day is temporary and it gets eventually dissolved, lost. Same is the form that we also have in life, and that will also be lost. So remembering that this form is not the real truth, but who we are is the real truth, is the message that is being given here. So Ganesh Purana, some lokas are there which explains the form but helps us remember the deeper meaning behind them. And whenever we pray, we should remember it if we want to really understand and benefit from praying. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much.